That's good. Well, I ain't gonna wait for nobody to come in here. I'm gonna just go ahead with my story time. And I got my wine and my other drink or whatever. So I am having a pretty much sitting here having a drink in remembrance of my best friend who passed away. Um, she passed away 2 years ago today. Will be um, the anniversary of her passing away. Um, she was 39 years old when she passed away. And as you can imagine, it was like very, very devastating for me. Um, we were friends for like, I think 29 years, 28, 29 years, something like that before she passed away. And it was a very, very hard situation to deal with. It really was. I mean, nothing could have prepared me for it. Um, I never thought that I would have to like lose her, at such an early age or have to, go on living my life without her. Like I said, she was my best friend. And so she passed away January 10th of 2021. And so it was real hard for everybody. Um, Not just hard for me, but it was hard for her kids. She left behind three kids. Um, she had triplets. She actually had triplets. She had two boys, two boys and one girl. And one of the boys passed when he was like 5 months old. But so she had two kids that were triplets, but their little brother passed, and they were 13 years old when she passed away. And then she also had a 5-year-old son. He was 5 at the time. Um, and so she left behind three kids. And hi, S. Pryor. Thank you. Um, and so, it was real hard. I just couldn't believe it. Um, she had a lot of health problems, um, like a lot of health problems with her blood pressure, um, with her kidneys, her heart, like just a whole lot of health problems. But my friend, even though she had those health problems, she was very full of life. She was very full of life. She liked to have fun. She liked to kick it. One of our best things that we liked to do together was get together and drink and talk and play cards and stuff like that. And the last time that we hung out together was right here in my living room. And I still have the bottle right here. This is the last bottle we drank together. For some reason, something told me to keep this bottle. I don't know what told me to keep this bottle, but I ended up keeping it. Um, yeah, and I'm glad I did. I'm really glad that I did. This is our last bottle together. We had Ciroc White Grape. I don't know if y'all had this before, but it's pretty good. Tastes just like, I don't know, some wine or something like that. But this is our last drink together. And so I kept this bottle. Something told me to keep it. And so anyway, how me and her met was we met in middle school. And at first, when I would see her in class and stuff, I thought she was very obnoxious. I thought that she was like, a troublemaker. Because she would speak her mind, and she would come off as rude or whatnot. So, I would pretty much keep my distance from her until one day, I think we were standing in line at lunch. We were standing in the lunch line, and here she come up to me, talking about with an attitude, honey, with an attitude. Talking about what's your name? I said, Chanel, what's your name? Because I got into defense mode, you know what I'm saying? I felt like she was trying to start some stuff with me. So I was like, I'm new to this school. I don't really know nobody like that. And this girl trying to start with me, I'm going to make an example out of her. I'm going to make an example out of her so everybody else will know not to mess with me. She like, how old are you? And even though I was every bit of 12, I was 12 going on 13, I lied so that I can seem more intimidating, so I could seem like I was older, so she would back down. I lied and I told her, I said 14. Like I said, I was 12 going on 13, so I lied and I said I was 14. And, pretty much after that, she would make conversation with me all the time. And, that attitude that she came at me with, it kind of faded away. So I'm like, okay, well, she actually is cool when you get to know her, She ain't that bad. So we just gradually, we became friends. We used to do a lot of stuff together at school, hang out, eat lunch together, talk about boys and stuff like that. And yeah, we became good friends. I used to be excited to go to school just so I can hang out with her. That was my friend. Like, I had like other people I would talk to at school, but her, I would consider her my friend. Because to me, she was very funny, very outspoken, and I love that about her. Like, I'm the type of person that if you can make me laugh, like I'm instantly drawn to you if you can make me laugh, because I have a big sense of humor and I love to laugh and have fun. Like, that's just me. And so she made me laugh like all the time, like all day. We used to skip classes and stuff together, do all kind of stuff that we weren't supposed to be doing. But she made going to school very exciting for me. And yeah, so we became like the best of friends, and I met her family, she met some of my family, and we were both raised by our grandparents. She was raised by her grandmother, and I was being raised by my grandparents. So we had that in common. And I remember I met her grandmother. Her grandmother gave me a hard time too. When I met her grandmother, you would have thought that I was a boy coming to take her out on a date or something. She gave me such a hard time. She really did. But eventually, she kind of started softening it up to me too. And I remember the day when my best friend told me, "You know what my grandma said about you?" And I'm thinking, "Oh Lord, what did she say?" I'm thinking that she gonna tell me her grandma said something bad about me or something. But actually, it was good. She said, "You know what, Chanel? That's the only real friend you got, and that's the only real friend you ever gonna have." That was kind of harsh, but her grandma told her that, and she told me, and I was touched. I ain't gonna lie, I was touched. I was very touched that her grandma would say that because she really gave me a hard time in the beginning. I thought the lady didn't like me, and she probably didn't at first. Probably thought I was a troublemaker. Probably thought I was fast because even when I was a teenager, I looked, old, like more mature for my age. I was developed, but like I said, we were raised by our grandparents. Her grandmother was very strict. My grandmother was very strict, so it wasn't too much of that fast stuff going on. But yeah, um, I was so like shocked when her she told me her grandma said that Chanel is the only real friend that you got. And that's the only real friend that you ever gonna have. Even though that was kind of harsh, I did appreciate her saying that. So after school, I would call and to speak to her. And a lot of times, her grandma wouldn't even let her get on the phone. So I end up talking to the grandma all the time. Like on days when she rarely ever let her get on the phone after school. She would have to do her chores, do this and that. Her grandma didn't play them games. So I started having conversations with the grandma. I would sit on the phone with her grandma for like an hour, just talking. And I actually enjoyed my conversations with her grandmother. I really did. Um, and it's funny. Well, it's not funny, but her grandmother ended up passing away a few months after she did. But rest in peace to both of them. Um, she was a major part of my life. We've been through so much, been through thick and thin, and she was a very, very, very good friend to me. Very. We was always there for each other. Um, and my friend, she wasn't like a girly type of female. She's like very plain Jane. She didn't need all the extra stuff. She t-shirts, jeans, sneakers, hair pulled to the back. She was very plain Jane. She wasn't really girly like me, like makeup and dresses and just, she was very plain Jane. But don't get me wrong. She had her times every once in a while where she want to get girly, honey, especially for her birthday. So whenever she want to get dressed up for her birthday or any kind of occasion where she just want to get cute, I would always be the person that she would call to help her get cute. And I would always be so excited because, like I said, my best friend, she was very plain Jane. So when she called me to help her get girly, honey, I was right there. I was excited, like, yes, we gonna dress you up today. Yes, honey. So I would get her right together. She would tell me her budget, and I would go online. I knew her size, and I would pick out different dresses and stuff and ask her which one she liked the most. And I would order her stuff and have it sent to her house. And I would do her makeup. Um, she had a cousin that usually did her hair, but I would do her makeup. I would make sure she got her accessories, her earrings, necklace, whatever to set the outfit off. Because I was excited that she want to get dressed up, like, yes. And then, like, when her family would see her dressed up, they would be so happy to see her dressed up. But because they so used to seeing her, like, like I said, t-shirts, jeans, sneakers, whatever. She didn't really care like that. So when I help her get dressed up, she'll give me my credit. She'll tell her family, like, yeah, Chanel helped me. Chanel helped me. So yeah. So that was exciting. But she made her kids, her two oldest kids are my godchildren. Of course, I still keep in touch with them. They teenagers. They always hit me up for cash apps every other week, and I send it. And I look out for her youngest son too. It's just so crazy, without her being here, and I can't believe it's already been 2 years. 2 years since I lost my best friend in this whole wide world. I liked her because she's funny. She spoke her mind. She made me laugh. And I felt like I could be myself around her. I feel like I can talk to her about anything and not feel judged. That's the kind of friend you want. Somebody that you can be yourself and they don't judge you. You know what I'm saying? She was that kind of friend to me. And so the kids, they doing better, but they kind of got wild. I ain't gonna lie, they kind of got wild. They ended up living with a family member. And basically they kind of got wild. And I remember one day, her son, I was talking to him, and he said something to me that almost made me backhand the crap out of him. He said something about wanting to get some weed. I said, boy, first of all, I know you smoke weed. I know you've been sneaking smoking weed ever since your mama was alive, because she used to tell me. I remember when you got your phone taken away from you for a month. All kind of punishments and stuff because you sneaking smoking weed. And she done found out. Him and his sister. And so, I tell me about no weed. Ever. You are not grown. He was 13 at the time. I said, boy, you was not grown. Don't ever talk to me about no weed smoke. Ever. Until you 18 years old, don't ever talk to me about no damn weed. You are a child. I am an adult, and you are a child. You need to have more respect for that than that. And I said, and even though I can't stop you from doing what you're doing, but my advice to you would be to focus on school, focus on graduating, start thinking about a career path, because it's hard out here. It is hard out here. So, yeah, he apologized, and I said, yes, you need to have more respect, but he apologized and whatnot, and I ain't heard him talk like that since. But anyway, fast forward to her passing. She had been in the hospital, I think for like over a month. She had missed, I think she missed Thanksgiving. I think she missed Christmas. Yeah. She had been in the hospital for over a month. And she was like in a coma and stuff like that. And mind you, she been to the hospital, sick plenty of times throughout the year. She been in and out the hospital, but she would always make it back home. By the grace of God, she would always make it back home. But this time, it was different. And I knew that it was different this time because she had never been in the hospital for that long. I think the longest she ever been in the hospital, maybe 2 weeks. But this time, I'm like, it's been over a month. I'm calling her hospital room. I ain't getting no answer. I'm calling her cell phone. I ain't getting no answer. Just hoping she would answer. But so she ended up passing. January 10th, 2021. And yes, I was so devastated and heartbroken. I called, my couple family members that know her. And, I told them what happened. Very devastating. Very devastating. I didn't think that I would lose my best friend, so fast. I didn't, I never would have thought that she wouldn't make it to see her 40th birthday. She was 39. She was 3 months away from her 40th birthday and before she passed. And I actually remember a time, maybe like a couple months before she got sick and went to the hospital, she was like, I'm dying. She called me, she's like, I'm dying, friend. She said, I'm dying. I didn't take it too serious because I took it as, okay, maybe she feeling sick again, probably have to go to the hospital again. And if she go to the hospital, she gonna make it out just like she did all the other times. But this time was different. This time was different. She said that the doctor said something about putting her on dialysis and all kind of stuff, and I just didn't take it serious. I guess because I didn't want to accept that. But I think that she knew some things that, you know, everybody else didn't know. So when she passed, and the family was making arrangements and stuff like that. I remember her sister called me and she was like, you always helped her get dressed, whenever she want to get dressed, and she trusts your opinion, as far as, finding stuff to wear to look good and stuff. And so if we would like you to pick out what she gonna wear. And so I said, yes, I will pick it out and I will buy it. And so I picked her out. It was a nice black dress. It had lace on it. And it had, I picked out this blazer, this really nice blazer to go over the dress. You can still see the dress, but it was a blazer. I picked out her some rings for her, a necklace, and she looked real nice. She really did. She looked real nice. The thing that I found, a little disturbing was her sister asked me if I would do her makeup. I couldn't. I'm just being honest. I could not do her makeup. To do her makeup while she's living, breathing, that's one thing. But to see her laying there, passed away, and to do her makeup, I'm just sorry. I'm sorry, I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I could not bring myself to do it. I couldn't wrap my mind around something like that. I just couldn't. I just couldn't. A lot of people have told me, like, ooh, why don't you do this and that with makeup? Why don't you see if you can do makeup for funeral homes? No, I just can't. I just can't. Especially if it's somebody I know, a family member, I just can't do it. You know, I don't mean no harm. I swear I don't mean no harm. I just can't stomach it. I couldn't. I wouldn't even be able to sleep anymore after that. Like, I just couldn't do it. Kudos to people who can do that stuff. I tip my hat to people who can actually do that stuff. I can't. I can't. I don't care if they was offering me a 7-figure salary. I couldn't do it. I just could not do it. And she asked me not once, but like twice. Not once, but twice she asked me. And both times I told her, I said, I don't mean no harm. I don't mean no harm. But I cannot do her makeup while she like that. Like, it's already going to be hard enough for me to see her laying in the casket at her funeral, you know? That's not how I'm used to seeing my best friend. I'm used to seeing her alive, full of life, talking her shit, being funny, you know? I'm not used to seeing her like that. I can't do it. And so she finally backed off and she didn't ask me no more. I thought about it. I did. I thought about it. But I came to the conclusion that I just could not do it. I just couldn't do it. But I tell you this. I'll tell you this. When when the day of her funeral, when I walked up to her casket, I don't know who did her makeup. I don't know who. I should have found out. I don't know who did her makeup. But whoever did her makeup did a fantastic job. Whoever did her makeup that day, oh, they did a fantastic job. I couldn't believe it. They did a fantastic job on my friend. Fantastic. They did about as good as I would have did. Everybody was saying how pretty she looked. She looked so pretty. They did a good job on her. They really did. I was so happy. I was happy. I was very pleased with what I saw. Very pleased. I'm like, I don't know who did this, but they did a superb job. And so I was happy. I didn't have to feel so bad that I turned her sister down as far as asking me to do her makeup. Because whoever did it, honey, they did it just as good as I would have did it. They sure did. Shout out to whoever was the makeup artist that day. But they did a good job with my friend. They did an excellent job with her. Yes, definitely. So I was relieved. I was very relieved. Sure was. But you know, I miss my friend every day. Every day I miss my friend. I feel like I wish I can talk to her. I wish I can see her. I wish we can, hang out like we used to. So many things that I want to talk about. So many things I got going on and in my mind and stuff like that. I still got people I can talk to, but I still got friends, but nobody like her. I'm just gonna be honest. No, nobody like her. You know. So yeah, I miss my friend. How we used to sit up and drink and talk, and we used to often have conversations about how we gonna make our next move, our best move. And she talked about how she wanted to start a daycare. Can y'all excuse me, please? Please excuse me. Sorry about that, y'all. My bad. But like I was saying, I miss hanging out with her. And before she passed, she was telling me that she wanted to open up a daycare. And so that was um, a big dream of hers to be able to open up a daycare. And she actually was working at a daycare before she passed. And she was basically learning the ins and outs, different things she needed to know so that she can open up her own daycare. A lot of times she would go to work sick, but she would force herself to go anyway. Um, yeah, but she really wanted to open up a daycare. And a fun fact is, me and her, we were talking about starting a YouTube channel, a mukbang channel. Just mukbang, talking, about everyday life, different topics. And we were debating on two names for our YouTube channel. We were either going to call it um, Fat Girls Gotta Eat Too or Big Girls Gotta Eat Too. We were debating on one of those names. But yeah, we was going to get out here in these YouTube streets. But like I said, she had health problems and stuff. And other things in life going on, and so did I. Have a lot of stuff going on. So we never did get. Hey, Monica. we never did get a chance to start our YouTube channel. But yeah, we were gonna be either big girls gotta eat too or fat girls gotta eat too. So we were gonna do a mukbang channel. And sometimes I think about how it would have been if we would have actually got a chance to start that channel. But we never did, so it is what it is. But yeah, I really did miss my friend. And it's funny because we used to always do fat jokes on each other. We was constantly doing fat jokes on each other. We had nicknames and everything. She would call me lard ass, or she would call me ham hock. And I would just either call her fat ass. No. I would call her ham hock and fat ass, and she would call me lard ass and chunky draws. We always talking about each other. Always like making fun of each other, and it wasn't, it was funny. Their family members, they used to crack up at us. My family members used to crack up at us. We used to always do fat jokes on each other. It was fun. It was all out of love. Yeah, and I remember us, playing cards and listening to our music together because she liked old school music too. She used to love Keith Sweat. She used to love Aaliyah, and she used to love Monica. But yeah, we listened to our old school jams, and we would just have so much fun together. And I miss my friend every day. Every day I miss her. Wish I can talk to her. Wish I can see her. But it is what it is. You know, death is a part of life. Um, I would say, love your people while they're here. Love your people while they're here because you never know when it's your time to go, when it's their time to go. So love your people while they're here. That's my advice because I was not expecting her to go so soon. I really wasn't. Yes, Monica. I was not expecting my friend to leave me so soon, but she did. And, I got a lot of good memories. I got a lot of good memories. So I'm thankful for that. Lots of good memories. And I know that my friend wouldn't want me to sit up being sad and crying all day, every day over her. Likewise, if the situation was reversed and, it was me instead of her, I would not want her to sit up and be crying and be depressed every day. I would want her to move on with her life and remember the good times and just, you know, prosper, you know, live the best life, that she can, that she can. And I know that, yeah, I know that my friend would want me, to you know, keep on trying to make my next move my best move and, you know. So that's the story time about my friend. I'm just sitting here having a drink in remembrance of her. Her name was Monique, by the way. And so what I'm gonna do is if you check out my community wall, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna post some pictures of me and her and some pictures of just her. And so y'all can see who I've been talking about for the last 40 minutes. Ooh, time going by fast. I didn't know it's been 40 minutes, but yeah. Hello, Michelle Thomas. But yeah, I just wanted to, do a video in remembrance of my best friend. It passed away 2 years ago today. Um, God rest her soul. And, I pray that she continues to rest peacefully. And until we meet again, Monique, until we meet again, friend. Toast to my friend Monique. Well, that's pretty much all I wanted to say, in regards to my best friend. Her memory is always with me. I can feel her presence sometimes, So that's pretty much it. I know people have been saying stuff to me in the comments. Okay. Aspire, Triple Head Goddess, Monica, Michelle. Thank y'all. I thank y'all so much for joining this live. Thank y'all so much for listening in. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Y'all be looking out for the pictures. I'm about to post it on my community wall. So y'all see who my best friend was or whatnot. And put a face with the story, All right. I'm about to get off of here. I gotta be at work early in the morning. It's hard being a night owl. Thank you, Michelle. It's hard being a night owl when you got a first shift job. It's hard. I'll be having to force myself to go to sleep at night. I really do. I thought I was going to start crying on this live, but I kind of held myself together pretty good. And best believe I cried behind the scenes before I got up on here. But I held it together. And I could hear my friend like, hold it together, fat ass. Hold it together, chunky draws. Oh, yeah. Well, that's the story about my friend. I thank y'all for watching. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. And like this video, thumbs up this video, please. And turn on your post notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I go live or whenever I make a video. And you lost family twice and you struggling every day. Yes, it's hard. It's so hard. So hard. First, I lost my grandma that raised me. And then I lost my best friend. And then her grandma passed away a few months after she passed. Yeah, it's just a hard thing to deal with. But like I said before, they wouldn't, and I say this to you too, I say this to anybody who has lost someone. They wouldn't want us to sit around sad and depressed all day, every day. They would want us to, move on and try to live the best life that we can live, and just remember the good times, because death is a part of life. We all got to go one day. So, yeah. Well, all right. I thank y'all for listening. I'm going to get on up out of here. And I will catch y'all on the next video. Much love to all my Chanellies.